All right, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. Today is December 23rd, 2023. We just finished the week for the market, and we're just gonna do a recap of what happened this week. On Tuesday, we have some November housing starts. It jumped to an annual rate of 1.56 million, which is better than 1.36 million forecast. That also exceed last month October's number, and that's primarily due to dropping mortgage rates and November building permits. That one did dip a little bit. It also lower than the previous month, and then we still have falling bond yields and U.S. dollar really seeing a lot of weakness right now. Um, you know, so so on Wednesday, there wasn't much news, but the market really tumbled that day. Um, so um, so it's more of a technical sell-off, right, on that day. And it's just quite severe sell-off. Like my portfolio dropped quite a bit that day. I was kind of shocked actually. If I go to my spreadsheet here, just gonna show you the market trend for a second. So I have some notes here from IBD. Volume rose 9% on Nasdaq, so that's why it was a distribution day. Um, and it happened also on New York Stock Exchange. Um, yeah. So now, but the distributions count still remain low, which is 1 and 1 on Nasdaq and S&P. So it's still not a lot of distribution because the older distribution days doesn't count no more because they have gone up more than the 5% rule. So the older ones doesn't count. So this is a fresh distribution day. You can see before we had two here, and then we didn't have any here, and then now we have one, right? But yeah, so that day there's some distribution. But generally, the market finished eight straight weeks up, so that's pretty strong. And in terms of accumulation, we are seeing still quite a bit of accumulation in the industry groups, 83 industry groups, 370 stocks on the stocks we monitor, and 72 distribution. On the sector side, it started the week kind of weak, and then second day was okay, and then third day was the sell-off day, and then Thursday it started to pick up again, and Friday, it closed, pretty good. Not super strong, but there's some accumulation, right? So, but you can see the numbers are much lighter now. Probably part of the accumulation process is based on volume. So if there's not enough volume, it won't count, right? Even if it's going up. So that's probably what's happening here. So it's much lighter now, you can see, but there's still some accumulation, just not as much. So like last week we saw 1,000, right? So that's pretty good. So yeah, so we on to our last week left, 4 days of trading left. So good luck to all of you. Hopefully we'll finish the year with a bang, and who knows, we might hit new high, never know, on the index. At least Dow already did, so we'll see if S&P or Nasdaq can do something. We only have 4 days left, so it's probably unlikely, but you never know. Friday, it has the PC, data coming out. So here, this one doesn't have that note here. This one just talk about the technicals. So 8-week win streak for S&P, longest in 6 years. So that's quite incredible, right? For Nasdaq, it actually has an 8-week streak in April to June this year, but it's still around the 15,000 level. So let me just jump to that chart right now just to see where it looks like. So yeah, here you go, right? So we're seeing a little bit of resistance right now. So on Wednesday, it popped over the 15,000 and just came back down. That was the harsh day, and the volume, quite increased drastically here. So a lot of people definitely, got shaken out here. Um, but then Thursday, it rebound, and then Friday, it came back to almost, uh, the same level as Tuesday, right? So now we're trying again to see if it will break out again, right? So so the 15,000 level is important to watch right now to see if it can break through. So it already fell once, so this is the second time it's going to try this coming week. So we'll see if it breaks through. Um, Dow obviously already had new high. Also have 8 consecutive week, and the longest streak, well, last streak was 9 week in early 2009, so 19. So who knows? So we might have another week, right? We might go for the ninth week next week. um, Small caps, yeah, did pretty good. It has also same, also resistant level. So let me jump to Russell for a second here. 2000 is the kind of hallmark. It looks like it cleared it pretty good by end of the week. 2033, yeah, so it's at a new high, right? So that's really good sign. So I think, part of the, reason why the market recovered Thursday, Friday is probably Russell helps big time. So yeah, so again, this is a very sharp recovery. You can look at the 10-day line. This is the slope of it. Very powerful rally for the small caps. Um, so now that he has broken out right here, it probably have more way to go. The next level is like 2138 right here. So yeah, I mean it could keep going because this is the most beaten down index. The previous highs at this level is very far away. Go back to S&P. Um, so we clear this 4600 no problem. Now we almost we have over 100 points away from that. Now we're getting close to the all-time high 4818. So that's not far away, right? That's like 60 70 points away. So we might hit that, right, by the end of the year. So like I said, we'll get close to it most likely. We go jump back to Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, okay, so it cleared this part. 1600 is still 16,000 is still far away. So yeah, so unless it makes some powerful move, then it can catch up to that high as well. And then finally we have Dow. So Dow, um, still chugging along. Like so, this week it didn't do as much after breaking out to new high last week. So last week it broke out to new high, all-time high. This week it's just digesting. So if they pull back just like on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday it rebound a little bit. Not too much. So it's definitely this one is kind of leading right now. So it probably just digesting. Um, and then we'll see if S&P and Nasdaq can catch up to the new high. And then, like I said, Russell is still quite far away. So that's where the index at. So on Friday, the PC number comes out. The PC price index. Um, Basically, you can see the headline here: inflation continues to cool. The Fed is looking to cut rates next year, and the price index for PC edged lower in November. And you can see here, the blue here is down, right, 0.1%. And the core PCE is up 0.1%. So it's very minimal. And so that's why it's a good number. And then you look at this yearly change, you can see how it's going down pretty strong, right? So both the core and the non-core, the PC, both of them are going down pretty strong. And then you look at the service prices, not including energy and housing, also falling really sharply right now. So all these are good signs for inflation cooling down. So we're gonna look at the 10-year yield right now, and you can see it's just falling like a rock right now. Strong downtrend, undercuts the 200-day moving average. Um, no support whatsoever. And you can see the next level is around. This is pretty low, 3.2%. Right now is at
Wow.
3.9%, right? So there's really no support level now, right? If it breaks 200 days. So now, it could continue, right? Until basically, at the point where basically the market is forecasting that, 3.2%. If it goes down to 3.2%, that could be the real rate at some point. Um, so yeah, would this happen? Possible, because inflation is cooling down so fast, and the Fed hasn't even cut rates yet. So, but the market is already, kind of suggesting that things are going to get a lot lower, at least based on 10-year yield. And then the thing that, kind of correlate a little bit is the US dollar. This there's something wrong with this chart. So I'm going to see if daily chart is also having the same issue. Yeah. So there's some problem with this chart right now. It's not supposed to drop this much. But anyhow, it is on the downtrend. So there's some issue with Market Smith right now. But the US dollar has also fallen quite a bit this week. But not this much. This is some bug here. Anyhow, so and then we'll look at oil. Oil seems to found some support level, um, and now it's just sticking around 70. I think 73 was something like that. 70 to 73 has been the last week where it seems to be. So this doesn't correlate with WTI, but anyhow, but yeah, I know the WTI is around 70 to 73, but it's just been sticking around here. It's very interesting. Hasn't, like I said, I don't know if this is going to start to rebound, or is this part of a longer term downtrend. You can see the upper channel line is still going down. So I wouldn't think it is over yet until it breaks that, right? So this is the range going down right now. So whether this is going to break through or not, no one knows. But I don't know. I just don't have a good feeling about this. I feel like with all this news about the Red Sea, all these attacks on the ship and stuff, yet the oil price didn't jump much. It jumped, but not much, right? So
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
so I feel like maybe that it kind of run this course. Like there's a short term bounce, but after that maybe it's gonna go back down. So I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, the US dollar is really dropping as well. So that's interesting as well. Um, I'm thinking probably at some point I might buy the US dollar just because it has dropped, I think at least 6% in the last from the recent peak, right? So yeah, so I might buy some unit. Maybe not yet. Maybe I'll wait maybe 1 or 2 more weeks. But I mean you can start averaging. But anyhow, yeah, like I said, this chart is a little bit screw up. It's probably around like this, probably near the 200 day right now. Um, so I don't know whether it will bounce or not. So usually, at least for US Canadian, they tend to like stick in this range between 132 and 138, something like that, around a 6 cents um, difference. So yeah, go to like USD to Canada. Yeah, so here's all 133. Yeah. All right.
Good.
Um,
So,
so we're gonna look at the S&P accumulation here. You can see the advanced decline line, uh, it, closed at a new high on Friday. So that's a good sign. So again, why we want to see that is because this is measured by the number of stocks. So it has nothing to do with how big the stock is or how much weighting it is on the index. So the more stocks going higher means that the market is broadening in terms of breadth, in terms of there's more stocks participating in this rally. Nasdaq, very slightly, right? Very slightly. You can see it make a new high too on Friday, but it's very slight. Again, we have been talking about this for a while now. The Nasdaq is definitely weaker in that sense. when it comes to broader market stocks participating in the rally. Yeah, and this is just a Dow chart, so not much to see here. But yeah, so I already talked about this PCE. We enter the 8 week. We already finished it with 8 weeks of gains. That's a very good, strong rally, especially all 8 weeks are up. So most people, if you have proper entry points and you caught on early in the rally, most stocks should be probably up, close to 20-25% from the breakout. If you do get that gain, IBD always say, you might want to consider taking some profits. Another thing to consider is how far is it from the moving averages, especially the 50-day, right? Or 200-day, but usually the 50-day is higher. If it's too far above the 50-day, then you're probably going to get a pullback, coming up soon, right? So those are things to consider. There's lots of selling rules. Like Mark Miniwini last week, he talked about in his video, he always likes selling into strength. And if you read his book, he talks about it a lot, because that's the best price you will get at that moment. So so if you see a strong up day, you should take some profit if you're already up, a good gain. You know, you know, you don't have to sell all of it if you don't want to, but at least sell a little bit just to, kind of take some profit away. Um, yeah. So we already have the Fed pivot happen, more than a week ago, and hence the rally since then, especially on the Russell, has the biggest upside so far. Um, the question is, what's going to happen in the new year, right? Um, Assuming, let's say we close out this week, positive again, they will be up 9 weeks. Or even if it closes down a little bit, whatever, right? It's the last week, volume is going to be low. So not much, changes will happen. I don't think anyway. But comes New Year, like I said, we want to see, are people going to start taking profit, especially on the big cap stocks, because those stocks are up a lot. We can go look at that right now, because most of them are up, like some of them are up over 100%, like Nvidia and even Meta, I think. So you would think if someone wants to sell, it's a good time to sell, because you passed in you get to the new year now, you can tax defer for another year, right? So it's very important to see if this guy's gonna go underselling more, or are they gonna hold, right? If they hold, I will feel more confident about the general market, because ultimately I do believe the big caps are the ones who has the strongest cash balance. They have stable business, they're technology oriented, and the world depends on them more than ever. Apple right now, you can see trading pretty tight, right? A higher low, higher high. It broke out, but it kind of, pulled back. So, it's common, right? Like IBD study shows that 50% of stock breaks out and comes back to the pivot, or slightly to even 10-day or moving average like this, like this. So, but you can see the RS rating is going down, right? It's been happening for like, actually 3 weeks now, right? So it hasn't outperformed the market for 3 weeks now. That's what this really means. But the stock price still looks, normal, right? It doesn't look like bad or anything. So again, if you're holding Apple, um, you know, like probably I wouldn't sell just because it hasn't really have any technical damage. But if you look at the RS rating, it kind of saying that, hey, this is not going to outperform the market. So if you keep holding this next year, it's unlikely this will outperform unless something changed drastically. It's possible, but I'm saying right now it isn't, right? This was the good run right here this year, and then it formed this huge cup of handle base, broke out, but then like I say, it's pulled back. Now it is pulling back, or like not severely, so that's the good thing. The volume is obviously going to be light because end of the year, so I don't count on that, because normally if it's a normal like seasonal thing, non-seasonal thing, then I would say, hey, maybe this is good sign, right? But because the last 2 weeks, like last 6-7 days of the year, is always low volume regardless. So I cannot count on that volume to tell me whether people are selling much or not. Um, intentionally anyway. So going into New Year, like I said, if these guys start to fall below the 21 day, then that's definitely, to me, that's a good selling point. And then there's 50 day, right? If it breaks 50 day, then I'll be definitely want to sell, and then it'll probably hit 200 day. So who knows what's going to happen to Apple? All right, next one, Nvidia. So Nvidia, you see it has this nice run, and then it kind of accelerate, and then now it's been choppy since, right? And then it built this double bottom base, tried to break out right here at the new high. So almost look identical to Apple chart when you consider, build a base, hit the new high, pull back, right? This one pulled back a lot more. It went down to the 50 day. Again, the 50 day is not far away. The 50 day is a very healthy line for long-term trade, like investor, right? It's where most institutions obey that line. So probably better to look at weekly if in that sense. And let me just quickly take out all my. So on the weekly chart, it looks pretty good, right? Like it went, like I said, it went up this red line, which is the 10-week moving average, and then it kind of went sideways since. Like this is the line right here. It broke through it, built this base, came back above it. You see, it pulled back after it broke out. It pulled back to the 50 day. Now it bounced off again. Right now it's trying. Getting close to the new high again. So, sometimes it takes once, twice, or even three times, right, to try to break out, and then once it breaks out, it goes. But right now it's still stuck. So that's where Nvidia it's not bad RS rating. It's kind of just going sideways. So it's not that bad, compared to Apple, because Apple was kind of going down, right? Whereas this kind of just going sideways. So obviously the stock is holding well. It's near the top range, right? So we'll see if this can break out. I mean, this is trading really tight right now, but yeah. So it fell once, it fell twice. So maybe the third time is the charm. We'll see. Yeah, Tesla is very similar to Nvidia, right? Look at this. This is even longer going sideways in terms of performance for the relative strength. The stock has been moving up very slightly, very slightly. Look at this. Um, it has this pullback right here, but it was a upside reversal, so that's a good day for. It probably shaken out some people. Right, this is probably the line where people maybe drawn, and it might have shaken out some people. But anyhow, right now it's coming back above the 10-day. Yeah, so I mean, it depends, I guess, your strategy. But right now it looks okay. The only thing I don't like is like it's much lower, like compared to Nvidia, right? This is much lower on the chart, right? So if you draw the highs and the lows here, like where this is trading, is much lower than where
Mm-hmm.
Nvidia is, right? So even though yes, it's tight here, but usually I like to see tight action more near the highs, right? So it was trading up here like really tight, getting ready to break out, and then once it shoot up, the
Mm-hmm.
resistance is broken through, right? Whereas the resistance right now, it's like not even near the high. Again, um, so okay, so let me draw another line here. So we talk about this downtrend line, it broke that. So right here it
Mm-hmm.
looks bullish, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes, you know, stocks will break out of a channel line, but then if it can't go, it will eventually sink back. And so this is could be a fake breakout here, because look, it's been 6 sessions, it hasn't moved, man. So I don't know. I will be a little bit concerned, right? So uh, yeah. So yeah, because people should be excited once you break out a channel line. It's not happening here technically. So so I pick up some shares in Google this week. This chart looks pretty good, right? I mean, it has struggled. Like it get up here, and then it builds a base, and then it goes up, and then it pulls back, and then and then it died here, and then now it builds another base. This is a much deeper base. Uh, well, deep, but it looks deep, but it's only 15%. Um, Now this handle was the part that's a little bit ugly, and then went back up and then came back down, so higher lows, and finally it took off this time. It broke this upper channel, um, and here's the breakout. This day it reversed right here, the Wednesday, right? That
Bye.
was, that was the bad day.
Food eat. You guys. Garam kari.
So Wednesday, yeah, it doesn't look good that day, but nonetheless, it was still an up day. Thursday, it bounced back, and Friday, it basically went to new high, right? So that's a good sign. Um, yeah, I don't, honestly, I don't know how Google will how do you say do in the AI story. Um, you know, there's definitely more negative on Google AI than the positive. So who knows, right? Like I don't know, but the stock is breaking out right now, right? So I have to obey the technical side, and the volume has been pretty good on the on the updates, right? So um, so in the chart, like I say, it looks pretty nice, right? It looks pretty nice. So I think I have to regardless of what I think personally about the AI stuff, whether Google can you know integrate their AI with the search, well, I don't know, right? But right now, the market looks like it's saying, hey, it wants to break out, and it's actually not that far from the highs, right? So, yeah, we'll see. Amazon like weekly chart looks really good. Like I mean, it broke out this week. Like it was tight here, came to the high, it trade tight around there, and then boom, it took off this week, right? So it looks pretty good. Um, so yeah, so it's trading really tight, and then here it took off one day, and then now it's trading tight again. That's exactly what you want to see. Yeah, so not bad. Let's go to Meta. So Meta, you see, it broke out from this base again. It fell. It actually came back all the way down here. Then it went back up again. It broke out again, and then it kind of pulls back. So this is quite frustrating for some people probably. And then now it took off again. You see, so now it's at new high again, right? So we'll see whether this will continue, but it's starting to look like on the weekly chart. You can see, right? It's starting to want to move away from the base now, right? So we could reach for this 25% reach here from the pivot. So yeah, the last big cap here, Magnificent Seven, is Microsoft. Well, Microsoft, I mean, again, this one broke out, and it's been trading so tight on the weekly chart. Look at how tight that is. Now, of course, it didn't move far after the breakout, so this probably frustrates some people. Um, but it is holding super tight, and this is definitely a good looking chart because it's holding tight above the pivot, which means it's just like, okay, if there's no more sellers, eventually it will take off, right? Because if people lose patience, whoever wants to sell already sell, and then at some point it's gonna take off. So this chart looks really healthy, right? But you need the patience. It hasn't really taken off yet. So but it looks really good. So some of these earnings here that is happening recently, right? In the last 2 weeks or so, they haven't done so well, right? Like Air was this week, right? Huge drop this week. Aerospace defense. So this is something that I'm worried about, right? So, these guys are reporting earlier than other guys because most will report January, but these guys are reporting earlier. And I mean, the chart looks decent, and then all of a sudden earnings just bam, right? You know, and then we'll go look at Nike also from this week. Same thing, right? Chart looks pretty healthy. All of a sudden, you are way above 10 days. Guess what? Now you're below every single moving average after one day, right? So this is the kind of stuff that I'm worried about going into the new year, especially when the earnings season start to kick off. Is that if companies start missing guidance, and most of these are missing the forward year guidance, and that's what's going to do, right? A lot of them, because this is the last quarter of the year, they're going to give new guidance for the new year, fiscal year. And if they miss that guidance, right? So here you can see here IBD has those track, right? So right now 2024, and then next year 2025, right? So if they miss those guidance for the year ahead, these stocks they're gonna tank, right? And that's what happened. So I think January, like I say, earnings, we are seeing some of this big cap global stock getting hit hard. Um, and then last, like I said, previously the tech giants was Oracle, right here, right? So there's that one. Um, yeah. So like I didn't think Oracle was going to drop that much, but it did. Just because of that forward guidance miss. And then Adobe, same thing. I thought Adobe was a pretty healthy stock, has been, going on a nice uptrend for a while now. And then, this last run, I thought this was really healthy. And then again, new high, everything looks good, and then boom, got hit hard. Now it has climbed back a little bit. I don't know it will be able to come back, but like I said, right now the story doesn't look good, right? Because Adobe, I thought was very AI optimistic guidance going forward, but yet they didn't give a good guidance. So what the heck's going on? um, oh yeah, FedEx, right? FedEx was also early this week, right? So yeah, so look at this, right? This guy broke out, everything looks good, nice uptrend, and then what happened, right? From 10-day moving average all the way to 200-day. So this is scary stuff. I mean, like you try to go back to last year, you know, there's not that big of a gap that happened, right? But this time the gap is much bigger. Look at this gap. Look at this, right? So the volatility is happening. It's starting to build up, and and we are in a good market, right? So imagine if we start to see more sell off like this, and then people start to panic, right? So this is something I'm really worried about going into January earnings because I'm seeing all this big cap global stock. So that's why I said um, because the big cap tax has done so well last year. I mean this year, right now still. Um, I'm hoping they will continue next year. What if they don't, right? And then the next big question is like, how about the smaller caps, right? Are they gonna do well, right? So again, so these two guys reported this week, CCL. So it didn't have much reaction. So it seems okay, this one, right? So Royal Caribbean is the one that I'm actually holding right now. So this one actually broke out, and again the slope is pretty strong, like 45-degree angle. It's going up nicely now. It's 14% above this pivot. So it's trying to reach for that 20% or so, right? Um, so yeah, so this one looks more healthy than the other one, and the numbers are much better on the fundamental side. Micron also report this week. Oh yeah, they have a good beat as well as guidance, and the stock pretty much hit like new 52-week high. Looks really good. 91 RS rating. Yeah, very healthy. The technical looks good, but the fundamental is negative. So so it's still not making money. But anyhow, the stocks do well. So some of these stories from IBD affirm unveil expanded ties to Walmart. It will now provide buy now pay later at self-checkout kiosks at 4,500 US Walmart stores. So that's quite significant, right? So Affirm is definitely one that I miss. Look at this breakout. It's an incredible breakout. In 7 weeks, right? It went up 91% from this breakout, and I missed this stock. A very strong 10-day moving average. Look at all the accumulation. Look at this on the daily chart. Look at this. This is so much accumulation. Look at that. Net is plunged with Tencent and Bilibili on new China gaming curbs. And all the other stocks also fell. So a lot of Chinese stocks fell, but these guys got hit hard. So NTES was something that I was trading, not right now, but a few weeks ago. Like I can't remember when. So it came up, and then since then it has come down, and then it had because of this news it just got hit. China wants to curb gaming, and that's the problem, right, with China stocks. It's like the government says one thing and then the stock tank, right? And so it's not the first time this has happened. The Chinese government has said this many times previously, and every time the stock reacted, right? But anyhow, it's just painful, man. If you own this stock, that's why a lot of people don't trade Chinese stocks anymore because of stuff like that. You just don't know. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, it just come out. So, Fresh Software, they bring in a new executive, and the headline is saying see its fortune rise, right? So that's from the IB newspaper. So let's take a look at Fresh. So it's looking pretty good. You have this cup with handle pattern. It broke out right here. It went up, broke to new high, and then it kind of fall back to 10-day, but not really, right? Look at this. It didn't touch the 10-day. Very healthy. Low volume on the selling side. Look at the volume, right? Much lower than the few days before. So this is a very nice clean chart. Look at this moving average. Look at all the up days are in high volume, and all the low days are in below average volume. So there's a lot of accumulation happening in this stock, and the slope looks like that. And I mean it's up 11%, right, in 8 days, right, from this pivot. So from this pivot right here. So it looks pretty good,
Mhm.
Yeah. So fresh work, and you see, it's been a long time, right, since this resistance on the left side. So yeah. So now hopefully it breaks out. It can move even faster. So let's see. So this is the main article today about security. Microsoft, has been known for its failing in this area in the past, but that's not stopping it from trying to compete with all these other stocks like CrowdStrike, Palo Alto, Zscaler, right? Yeah. So the article was very interesting. There's a lot of players in this, and Microsoft wants to take some of the market share away, and so they're trying to focus on this area. But yeah, let's look at some of the security stocks. So one thing that I noticed, like they're definitely I would say probably as a group the strongest group in the whole tech sector, other than maybe the chips, maybe. Um, let's look at quickly just the tech index, like like SMH for example. So SMH, semiconductor ETF, broke out, had this strong week last week, right, from the Fed announcement, and this week look at where it closed. Pretty nice. This is exactly what you want to see at the top range. It's just a digestion week, and hopefully it will continue after this. So that's the chip side. On the software side, IGV, and this one is stronger because it broke out earlier than SMH. And look at it, it's still climbing, right? Making new highs every week. Look at that, right? So this one is definitely more stronger. Software is stronger than the hardware side. Um, in general, right? I'm sure there's some stocks that are stronger on the chip side as well. But in general, this is stronger. So, but there's lots of groups of software type, and security is one of them. So that's why. So now we go to CrowdStrike, and this is probably you know the leader in terms of big cap, 61 billion. And this is a digestion week. So I don't know if it's running out of energy. Um, it is down 4 of the last 5 days. RS rating is starting to slope downward. So so we'll see if this will continue to hold, or is it going to start to break, right? So I don't know. So this is something that is interesting because it's getting further away from the 50-day as well. So you can see the parabolic move here. Last time it did this was around here, right? So this one, it didn't break down, but this time it did, right? So I don't know. We'll see. So very interesting. And this is already up quite a bit. So I won't be surprised if it continue to break down. So that's CrowdStrike. Zscaler is another one. This one's still okay looking. RS rating is still look okay. It has starting to come down as well. So, but at least it hasn't, break any average and stuff. So this still looks good as well. Cyber, yeah, it has a new closing high. It bounced off 10 days, so that was tested recently. So that looks good. This one looks very strong actually. So this one I like quite a bit right now. Palo Alto. Okay, so this one broke out, came pretty close to 20% average. So unfortunately, it didn't quite make it. So if you were waiting for that 20% before you take your profit, you might have lost some of it now. And it's making new lows right now. So I don't like that. RS rating is going down. Now, like I said, the volume thing is very hard to determine now, right? Like I said, I don't think I can look at volume in this last 6 days of the year. It's just going to be low, right? So, um, yeah. So I'm going to look at the price action more. So you can see it closed below 10-day, right? I don't like that. It just show that there's no more juice on this stock. So be aware, right? So things like that. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I miss any of the security guys. There's probably more, but those are some of the good ones. Another one I can think of is RBD. So this is a younger gun stock. Looks healthy as well. Just broke out, right? From a long base. It's okay. It's not as strong as the other guys, but it's okay. So there's an article about Double Verify holding 23 highs right now. So this is an advertising platform. Um, so yeah, look at this, right? Pretty strong chart. It's still in a very deep base. RS rating is shooting up. Volumes look okay, right? Yeah. So this one is trying to come back, right? This is a very deep base, 38% base. Fundamentals look okay. Okay, so I didn't know this company is owned by Warren Buffett, or part of it. I don't know how much, but Stone. So a lot of people talk about this young gun, 5 billion market cap. This guy, I don't know exactly even know what they do. They have financial solutions for merchants and integrated partners. So I'm assuming they're like a payment provider or something. And look at these numbers, right? Like this fundamentals, triple digit growth. And it broke out. So it broke out from a long time ago. And so now the chart looks really good on the weekly chart. Like it already climbed 21% in 4 weeks. And look at daily. So this is what it looks like on the daily chart. Found support here. Yeah, it's just riding this line. So it looks pretty good. This is a pretty strong slope. That's Stone. Dynatrace AI firm hits a buy zone. So let's go look at that. So here you go. Here's the previous high. It tried to break out, came back in. They're gonna try again probably soon. So we'll see if this continues. Oh, this is the actual cup right here with handle. So it broke out right here. So this is the previous high. This is the cup handle pattern. So yeah, so if it breaks out, it's trading really tight right here, like 3-week tights right now. It shows blue. So that's a good sign, right? It's not giving back much after coming back on the right side. So if it breaks out, it probably have room to run. Yeah, the fundamentals are also pretty good, right? You can see it's all rising, right? So very stable as well. So it looks really good actually. Okay. RAM digital ad player scores breakout. So this is another ad platform, right? So these are data onboarding to help brands and marketers. So this guy broke out, came back in, built another tight base here, very tight, like flat base they call it. And then it broke out again this week. Look at RS rating hitting new highs. Really strong, right? Really strong. So yeah, so this looks good right now. And volume, look at the volume. So there's tons of accumulation on this stock. So I didn't get a chance to do all the stocks, so I only did some of this. So LPG at the top, right? Hit new high. So LPG, oil and gas. There's Rex on the, and then this one is a newer name, came on the screen. Energy alternative. I think they're on. I want to say ethanol. I can't remember. Those are the two that hitting new high. Weatherford and TDW also did well this week. NXT also coming up. Well, let's look at those few guys. LPG. Look at this, hitting new highs, looking really strong. RS rating is hitting new high as well. So this is really good. Look at this. Let's look at the weekly. Look at this climb. So originally, you see it broke this upper channel line, went up pretty strong for like 2-3 more weeks, and then here was the peak for a second, and then I sold there, and then I thought it was gonna go down more, and then it came back, and then I bought back in this week, right? See, so I think this stock, yeah, it's just so strong. Look at how many days up now. It's like 9 days up. Volume is pretty strong as well. So I don't know. This stock, this group is just so strong. Transport pipeline. So yeah, so the pipeline, you see some of the stocks here. I don't own most of this, but this group is moving, right? So LPG is not here. I don't know why. It's probably because it's extended. This is definitely less liquid. Ethanol, right? Yeah, ethanol. This is what is produced. Right. Anyhow, it broke out here on good earnings, and then it fell back really sharply to the to the moving average here. So a lot of people got shaken out, and now it's moving again. So very interesting. So we'll come back to oil and gas field service here, TDW. So this guy's, starting to run up again. This was a nice run before, and now it has this base, and now it's trying to break out now. So RS rating look really strong. Look at the weekly chart. So this is probably one also another best stock. If I look at from October low, this is from October low. It's up 194%. So just slightly under LPG. LPG is number 6 here, 210% compared to TDW. So it's just up, very close, right? Both of them. Weatherford. Again, this one built a double base. So, I'm not sure if it undercut it, but anyhow, this nice run right here now is trying to take off. So again, this is under the oil and gas machinery equipment group, and so right now it's still in the base. It did pull back on Friday, so I don't know if that's a might be a not a good thing, but at least yeah. So we'll see. We'll see if we can break out. So that's Weatherford. So Weatherford probably also performed very well, I don't think. Yeah, see 188. So those three are very close, right? LPG, TTW, Weatherford, very similar performance. Um, yeah. So I bought into all three this week. So we'll see if some of this oil and gas stock will take off again. I don't know. But yeah, so NXT, this chart is so choppy, right? But anyhow, it is one of the IPO stock in the solar area, and I like the story fundamentally. They can tilt the panels and stuff so we can get more sunlight on it. Look at those fundamental numbers, right? The stock itself hasn't performed as number one as stable, and number two like as well as some people thought, but right now it's breaking out. So it's breaking out, like I said, it is volatile, so so do take that into consideration because it's not going to be easy to hold. um I did take a bit of share this week as it bounced out again on the high side. So we'll see if it will finally take off or not. I don't know. Yeah, so volume was there when it kind of tried to break out. Um, it did suffer, a 1 day punch here. So we'll see. So now we're moving on to industrials. Modine, number two on my list for this week. Um, Closing at new high. So that's really strong. Um, yeah. So it's a nice breakout from a cup here. This is a very strong stock as well, right? It's been doing that. Building heating products. Um, yeah, this is a nice slope. It's probably like 45-degree angle. It's almost near the 20% zone. Yeah, looks good. So this is also another previous winner right here. Building heavy construction. Now it broke the downtrend line and then it went up straight. Look at how many days. Like, I don't know, 12, 13 days now. And then it broke out on Friday. Look at that. Right. And look at this nice blue volume here. So look good. Look at the overall weekly chart. So this is another big winner too, right? So if I go to my list here, mod 300%. So this is number three on the list since October 13. See that? STRL number four. Look at that, right? And you have BLBD too. That's also, I believe that's also in equipment manufacturing. So this one has gone up really strong here, built a deep base. Now it's coming on the right side. Volume is super high. Look at this volume right here. Lots of buyers here. Right now, look at how tight it's trading after that big run right here. So this stock looks pretty good. If we break out this handle here, it's gonna be a good one. This is called Bluebird. Yeah, Bluebird. So this is number five on my list here. So those are the big performer gains since the October 22 low. We have APG, Exxon, MLM, CBT here. Okay. So APG is more of a newer name that came on my list. So you can see 2 weeks ago it started to move. This breakout right here. And then this week it moves again. So I've been adding shares to this. And it's looking pretty good. Like it's one of those stocks that looks really nice and tight, riding the 10-day. It's already at 21%. Right here. Already at 21%. So we'll see how far this goes. So this is in security safety area. So some of the industrials, right? So a related area. Exxon, also another sorry, not software, security. Very similar chart you can see. Also at the 20% already gain. Let's go to look at the weekly. So yeah, look at broke out and then climb. So look how fast these guys climb. So there's a saying in IBD: if it climb 20% in 3 weeks, hold it for 8 weeks. So this stock seems to qualify. At least looks like it did. So yeah, so these are very strong performers right now. Yeah, very strong. It's only happening like let's say in the last 2 weeks, right? MLM, this is one that's David Ryan's holding. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Breakout. Uh, so let's go look at the daily. Yeah, here you go. This is the trend line. Looks okay. It's not as strong as the security ones, but they look okay. This one is in cement. Oops. CBT. This is chemical specialty. Okay, so this guy also broke out. Yeah, so this is also smaller cap, 4 billion. So nice long base. Look at this base. I like the right side of the chart a lot. Look at how tight it's trading as it goes up and then it moves and then it probably go tight sideways. Look at this. Look at this 1 week volume no one wants to sell. That 1 week so light. Look at that. So that's a big sign right there. This is CBT, ENS. This is Energous, electrical power equipment. So this guy is starting to move on the right side. Volumes, coming in. Look at the fundamentals on this, right? Pretty stable. Next one, SPV. Spectrum Brand Holdings in building construction as well. So this is building the right side now, is coming up. Broke the downtrend. Volume is there on the weekly chart. Looks pretty good. So this is also like, it corrected pretty hard. But look at this chart now. It's like coming 45-degree or more angle. TT. Train Technologies. This guy broke out. Actually, this base was further away from here. But there's also another base here. It broke out. So this one looks, the slope is not as strong. But it seems like very stable as well. Volume is pretty good. Right. WOB. WebTech. Again, transportation equipment. Yeah, wow, look at this chart. This chart looks pretty stable. All the industrial stocks look very stable, eh? Riding the 45-degree angle slope. So yeah, all these guys broke out. This one broke out. Now it's moving up. Yeah. Yeah, so there are not too many financial stocks on my list because most of them have negative earnings. So we already talked about Stone. The other one is TradeWeb. Yeah, so this guy is moving up, broke out from this base. It pulled back really strong recently, so I don't think this is as good because the wall is so high here on the pullback. It's trying to bounce back right now, but I think it still looks pretty weak to me. So this is still on the downtrend. We'll see. It might need time to heal. Let's look at retail side. Expedia. Look at this chart. This is probably, I don't know. I feel like this is one of the strongest chart I've seen. Like look at this slope. And then so it went from here to here super strong, broke out, and then look at what it did after it breaks out. It still went up pretty strong. So yeah, this is strong, man. This chart is strong. I didn't expect it from a stock like Expedia, right? So what does that tell you about trouble? So I don't know. Look at this volume. Oh my. Like, yeah. I think it speaks for itself, Expedia. So yeah, RCL we already saw that pretty good. Expedia is pretty good. Um, Play is a Play and Shack is retail restaurants, so I'm surprised they're also moving because for a long time the retail restaurants hasn't done much. Look at how long this space is. Look at this. This is like the Russell, right?
How this breakup looks interesting.
Yeah, like this is like the Russell like chart. It hasn't broke out for a long time, and then it broke out, and then look at it go, right? It's like a 60-degree angle. So this is very strong. Look at that chart. Crazy, crazy. Like, but this is obviously small cap. So some of the small caps are really taking off, right? Like this is one of them for sure. Shack. So this one is a little bit stronger, but because it declined previously, and then it fell right here, right? It fell pretty hard. Now it's coming back strong again. So let's go look at the weekly. So there's volume here as it climbs, so that's good. And then now it traded really tight. It tried to come out, but it fell on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday it closed to the highs, right? The recent high. So this is good. This is good. So Shack is also looking very good. Yeah, so Shack's looking pretty good. Let's see what else. ALV, ANF. Okay, ALV. So this one, probably, I don't know. It's been stuck on a long time. This is original equipment for a truck. Um, Long base, long base. This is a long, long base. But it finally like broke out. First time it fell, and then the second time it works, and now it's taking off. So we'll see. This stock, it's okay. It's very volatile. Um, yeah. So that's ALV, and then the other retail stock that's doing well is ANF. So look at this upper channel line. It broke it here, but and then it came back, but it didn't break down. It just found support at 50-day, and then it took off again, and now it broke. Look, now it broke the upper channel line again. This time it broke it a lot more. So this is the second time. This is first time. This is second time now. Um, yeah. So, um, so we'll see, right? So if you follow Mark Minnie's advice, sell on strength. This would be an area to sell on strength for sure. But who knows? This stock could still run. Like I mean, you never know. But this is getting this is so when they say is it getting too far away from 50-day? Yep. Is it getting too far from 200-day? Yep. Right? Look at how far this is parabolic now. So it's time to take profit, right? Take some at least, right? Yes, it can go up higher, but it's always good to sell some into strength. Because like this probably won't like so that's the next thing we look at is the earnings report, but I don't think it will hold that long, right? It probably at some point it's going to sell off and come back to the 50-day line. So, but yeah, this is also a very strong stock. If I don't know what number is on my list. Let me just check. Number one, right? Number one is ANF, 477% since low of October. SMCI. Oh, we didn't talk about SMCI yet, right? Okay. We'll talk about tech. We haven't touched tech yet, but we can jump to SMCI just to see where it's at. So yeah, we saw this big run, right, at the beginning of the year, and then it just keep going and going and going, and then it built this long super base. It came out right here. Look at where it is now. It fell back below, right? Now this could be a temporary thing, but it is at key moving averages, 10-day, 21-day. Yeah, so we'll see. Because of such a big gain, it's number two on my list. 400% gain.
Mhm.
maybe this year it's done, right? But maybe next year will go again. Who knows, right? You know what I'm saying? It just take times to, because it already has such a big gain. It's just taking time to, you know, it kind of like right here. If you, it's kind of hard to tell now, but here it did a long digestion right here, long. I mean, so many people got shaken out, right? Like I hear so many IBD traders got shaken out right here, and then finally when it took off, it goes. So this is a patience game, and this is what's happening right now. It's just, if you try this stock, it'll just keep failing you. And even this one that broke out on the trend line fails as well. It depends where you set your stops. But so far it's still not like, too bad yet. But but Friday, look at that, right? It's pretty bad job. But it still has support. It's still near 21 day, still near 50 day. If it break 50 day again, I'll be like, oh my god, a lot of people will be shaken out for sure. So, but anyhow, nonetheless, this is the second best performer on my on this list here. All right, so yeah, so we haven't jumped to tech stock, but we'll get there pretty soon. So we finished retail. So what's the next one? Yep, the next one is going to be tech. So ALKT did well this week, right? We already talked about CyberR, Guidewire, Wix. So some of these stocks, yeah, small cap, right? Look at this, 2 billion cap, $24. Look at, like, for a small cap, this is actually, like, except for this week. This 1 week here, it was volatile. I don't know why. But anyhow, if you omit that week, this last 10 weeks, it's been pretty stable. And it's keep climbing to new highs. I mean, this is an IPO stock, not that long ago. So, I mean, this is pretty healthy. It is turning around on the fundamental side. So, cloud-based platform for digital banking, right? So some people was like, oh, what's so unique about this company? It's like, they have never seen a technology firm, unless it's a fintech, that provides solutions to banking that did well, right? So I don't know, but it is an IPO stock, so yeah. So this I don't know what happened here, but anyhow, there's lots of volume there. This 2 days, there must be some news, but anyhow, yeah. If you exclude those 2 days, it looks very healthy, the chart. So LKT, I would watch this guy because I think, it has come up on my screen so many times now. I don't think IBD ever wrote about them as like an article about them. So not many people know about that stock here. It could be the next SMCI, who knows? Cyber, oh yeah, we already talked about this. Sorry. Guidewire, yeah. Guidewire. Yeah, this guy is taking off. It's a very strong chart. 45-degree angle. It broke out right here. 13% gain so far from the pivot. This is, yeah, see, this is another one in the financial area. So that's interesting too. So this is a group of, Guidewire, ALKT, they're all in the same group. Wix is not in the same group. Wix is a software enterprise that provide, basically they help people create websites, right? And so it has broken out from right here. Now it's going really fast. So in like 2-3 weeks, it's 19% now. So they're moving, and yeah. So this guy's moving. Look at this line, pretty sharp, very strong. Wix. Again, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think about the economy next year. Like, why is this company moving so much right now? Right? Is it just technical related, or is there some fundamentals happening? I don't know. It's very interesting, right? Because they sell mostly to small business. So is small business doing really well? I don't know. Okay. Yelp, Zillow Group. So Yelp, it's an old name, right? It broke out this week. It's a pretty long base too. It did, has this run right here. So yeah, looks pretty good. This is the chart right now. Yeah, a nice clean breakout. Like I always like to see a nice clean breakout. Like there's no doubt about it. It's not like they go up and then come back, close in the middle range, like stuff like that. This is close, breakout on high volume, right? And close at the top of the range, and it's like much higher than the buy point. So it shows conviction, right? Um, Fundamentals, look at this, growing triple digit now. So, yeah. So another stock that is surprised. Obviously, the other one that is also surprised me is Pinterest. Yeah. So look at this one, similar, right? Broke out, moving up really strong right now. Took a break this week, didn't move much, but it didn't sell off either, right? So this is a very interesting stock too, right? Because it just, move up, really strong slope. 29% gain so far from this breakout. So yeah, looking very good. Again, same thing. Like starting to turn around and make good profit. Sales are improving. So yeah, so very interesting. This is very similar stock, Yelp and Pins. Um, Zillow Group, also internet content group, but this one is for home buyers, right? So they also broke out this week. So again, like what are all these consumer internet stocks doing? They're all breaking out. Very interesting, right? Um, yeah. Now this fundamental is not as strong, so but yeah, but it is doing what it's doing, breaking out. So another software financial, CXT. So let's go look at that. So another small cap, right? So maybe it's related to small cap theme. I don't know. This one, okay, break away from the downtrend line. Hasn't really quite break out from the base yet, but this is definitely a late mover in terms of the rally because it didn't move until this week, right? So yeah. All right. Let's look at this one. ALTR. Computer software. So this is the same group as like, I don't know what happened this week. It jumped a lot on Friday. I mean, this stock was on my radar, and then it kind of went sideways, and then it bounced back, but it moved really tight, and then all of a sudden it just moved. I'm not sure if there's news, um, but this is a nice cup with handle base. Now the fundamentals are strong right now. DY, telecom infrastructure. Um, yeah, this stock hasn't done much, so I'm not sure if it's even a good stock to look into. So it's definitely hasn't moved much, but who knows? This is a nice cup base. Um, yeah, but the numbers are pretty good. Like, but I don't know why this telecom stock hasn't moved much. So
But very long consideration, right?
financial stock that's breaking out, trying to break out, broke the downtrend line. Yeah, it's climbing the right base. So there's a lot in this group this week that move. So look at these numbers here. It's turning around. Um, so they're starting to make money. Oh, this is good. These are the very young stocks, right? Okta. Yeah, let's look at Okta. We missed this security stock earlier. So Okta, it's not as strong as the other security guys, but it is moving right now. Um, and then we have IoT. Yeah, so IoT also broke out. It's holding near the top here, pretty tight. CRM Salesforce. So this guy move again this week, make new high. So this chart is starting to look really good. Like, yeah. So Salesforce. Look at this. Look at this slope here. For a big cap, this is a very impressive chart. Yeah. Teams, this stock is starting to move as well. Long consolidation, cut base, and then boom, broke out. So this slope is strong. This is 60-degree angle. So yeah, so this stock is starting to run. It has lots of overhead though, right? So I don't know, but it is running right now. So um, yeah, numbers are good, very good, very stable sales, very good. Oops. Um, what did I miss? Frog. Frog. Yeah, so this one broke out this week as well. Lots of these guys broke out, eh? Yeah, so nice volume. Um, yeah, this chart also looks strong. Very strong. It's a little bit extended now, but yeah, but it looks strong. And this is kind of like Adobe design area. Kind of slow down now. It's kind of not moving as hard fast no more. You can see the RS line is flat lining, so I don't like that. Um, but yeah, it did have a nice run here. But yeah, it seems to be slowing down now. This stuff. Um, okay, so there's probably more tech stocks, but those are the ones that are shining this week, right? uh, did we miss any sector? Any stocks you miss?
No, I think this looks good. If you want, I am.
About it, but then I don't know what happened now. Okay, reverse this week. Interesting. Yeah, it has this one ugly week. I think it was due to earnings. Yep. Right. Yeah, this stock is very powerful too, right? Because you can see this run, like really sharp run. Um, Also in the electrical power equipment, so that's one of the stronger groups. So here's the breakout line. Wow, it came back to it, eh? So this is like one time, two time, three time. It keep falling, eh? Interesting. And volume is mixed, right? There's volume on the downside, or there's volume on the upside, you know. So it's kind of like, pretty mixed between bulls and bears right now. The relative strength is flatlining right now. So yeah, so that's why this is not kind of like it is on my list, but it's not on my radar right now. Like watch closely because it's not really doing much right now. Eventually, it will go to the upside or downside. I don't know which way it will go, but because the RS rating hasn't done well, I was because basically it's saying that it's not outperforming the market recently, or even yeah. So I would like I don't know. For me, there's much better stocks to look at than this one.